Good day, everyone. Today's story is Regress. It's all about Stella, who's lived and worked with racists for several years shortly after finishing college. And lo and behold, she's now comfortable and proud of being so and practicing it. Stella, a lanky white woman from the upper Midwest who'd once worked as a college administrator in Cambridge, Massachusetts, chanced upon a former colleague, Julian, in front of a bustling New Hampshire supermarket. She hadn't seen her fellow Midwesterner in years. Stella's family was relocating to Syracuse University just as Julian was arriving to begin a new job at Dartmouth College. Here were two ships passing on a blustery, sun-drenched day in spring 1996. While reminiscing about New England life, Julian was startled by Stella's unprovoked confession about a shift in her reference frame that transpired during her time at MIT. At Carleton, it was drummed into our noggins again and again how deleterious racism is. But that changed dramatically when I moved to Massachusetts so that my husband could do a PhD in political economics. I got a job in the Institute's undergraduate academic affairs office and noticed right off that the staff of 30 was all white. To boot, Dean Teddy Morris, our section head, habitually enacted the most racist mimicry ever. He'd gleefully parody Uncle Ben, Aunt Jemima, Buckwheat, Farina, Uncle Remus, Stepin Fetchit, Mammy Beulah, Rastus, the whole lot of them. Always making sure minorities weren't around, of course. And with his University of Chicago doctorate in English literature, Teddy could affect some unforgettably dramatic narratives in his play acting. It was shocking. The rest of us bore witness in muted alarm. What else could we do? As if that weren't bad enough, that brown-nosing associate dean of his, Missy Ellington, always heaved a grating, raucous laughter at Teddy's antics. To boot, she had this guttural-type whoop that betrayed her steel millish Pittsburgh roots. Poor thing. You'd think 4 years at Wellesley would have cultivated that galling comportment just a bit, but that wasn't to be. Something else about her. When mentioning hubby, she always made it a point to say, he's Spanish from Spain, not Latin America. Well, let's think here. If you hail from Latin America, you're Latino, not Spanish. I couldn't believe she missed that. But then I saw the light. Missy didn't want anyone to think she'd married a Latino. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Despite their glaring deficiencies, though, I've got to give Teddy and Missy good marks for consistency. They treated black students like shit and bad-mouthed black faculty and staff ad nauseum. And in the company of blacks, they were always as charming as could be. The dynamic duo, as they thought of themselves, actually believed their hypocrisy was opaque, that blacks would not or could not discern it. Julian, I think their arrogance derived from a deep ingrained supremacist perspective. Teddy was blind to the reality that African Americans saw through his god-awful veneer, and Missy was consumed with fear that someone might think she'd married a minority. Bless her little heart. Stella recalled with jolting clarity discussions she had had in a strenuous undergraduate seminar course at Carleton College, AFAM 182, Black Identity and Belonging, in her second year there. For the first time, she had been a minority in a classroom. Of the other 8 students, 6 were Black, 1 Asian, and 1 Latino. The distressingly compelling theories framing the effects of racist oppression on the African diaspora became illuminated as never previously in that course. But Stella had unwittingly complied with that very process throughout the entire term of her first full-time job out of college. She was aghast, if but for an instant. At first, all of that behavior was really demoralizing. But after working there a while, I got comfortable being and acting racist. It just doesn't bother me anymore. Neither did it concern Stella that her colleague Julian was Black.